we are going to try to take this headlight, which you can see is very, very cloudy. It's just the clear coat has failed, and turn it into a nice looking clean headlight. You know, we're going to see how much of an improvement we can make. What we're going to do, I've done a couple of different methods, and what we're going to do today is just completely sand the clear coat off, and then polish the plastic. Now, the problem with this method is that you will not have any UV protection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a clear film that has UV protection built into it. And my hope is that will hold up over time better than just the plastic headlight itself. Now, I've done this same task with clear coat before, and it does work okay, but because clear coat is sitting on plastic, the plastic can heat and cool, and it'll end up cracking over time, and that's exactly what happened on the other set of headlights that I did. So we're going to try this method, and we're going to just go through the range of sandpapers. So we're going to go from I've got a 400 grit here. I'm going to start really coarse and go all the way up to, actually this is probably, 3,000? We're going to go up to a 3,000, and then we're going to polish. And hopefully this one turns out very well, and we can do that, and I'll show you the before and after when we're done with that. So here we go. I mean, obviously we got to make it worse before we make it better, but it looks like we've removed all of the clear coat at this point. I don't see any. Usually you'll see it splotching if there's still clear coat. This might be a little bit right there, but it looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go up from 400 to an 800. There might still be clear coat on this. I'm getting that white powdery film here. That might actually be clear coat, which is okay. We're just removing the top layer of oxidation. I'm certainly going to get to a point where I'm burned through on the clear coat, and if that's the case, then we'll have to repeat this process and go all the way through it. But no. So the next paper that I have available to me is a 2000. So, and it's kind of a worn 2000. So ideally you'd want to go from like an 800 to a 1500. We're making a pretty big jump here. We're not going to get all those micro scratches out now, but that's all I got. So it's all right. And actually this looks pretty good. We'll just go for it and see what happens. Okay. Woo. Arm's getting tired. And let's go to a 2500. I'm actually going to skip the 2500 because I'm lazy. I'm going to go straight to 3000, which is going to be more like a polishing step, but I've got it. Let's do it. So that you can't even barely hear it. It's just kind of dragging a little bit. Okay, my arms are super tired. I'm done. Now I'm going to polish it. So that's where we're at right now. You can kind of see, yeah, you can really see like micro scratching in there. But the idea is now the polishing compound is going to almost in a way melt the plastic. Maybe that's not the right way of saying it because it's not going to get hot. It's going to smooth out all of the ridges so they'll become reflective. I guess you're not going to necessarily get rid of all of the ridges. That's why you continue to wet sand to level those out and continue to smooth them out. Think of them like mountains, basically. The finer the sandpaper, the smaller the mountain. And so now we're just going to polish those mountains and make them less jagged, a little bit smoother, right? And that will give us our final sheen. So the better you do with the sandpaper, the better the final product. So we're gonna just try it where it's at right now because I think it's gonna be pretty good. Now, if you don't have a polisher, you could do this by hand, theoretically. I would not suggest it. Conversely, I think if you have one of these from Ryobi, you could probably get a pad to put on here as well. This is not gonna be as powerful or spin quite as aggressively as the polisher is, but it will probably save you a little bit of fatigue on your wrists. So polish, you can really use whatever you want. I've got these on hand. This is a 3D one. This is pretty expensive, but it's a cutting and finishing polish. Pretty good. Probably not as thick as this, which is a Chemical Guys VSS scratch and swirl remover. This is a little thicker. It's got a little bit more abrasion to it. Let's try this first, and then we can move to this after if we want more of a sheen. That literally always happens. And I'm gonna put on some gloves. Let's give this a go. I usually like to rub in my polish so it doesn't splatter me, but so you can see right away that's making a huge difference. I don't really like this compound. It doesn't feel like it's doing a very good job, so we're gonna switch it up to the one. One is intended to be a one step. That's kind of what the name implies, but. All right, so you can see it on video actually. We still have some pretty heavy scratching, and that's just because of the level of polishing or the wet sanding we did. We clearly need more. You know, the improvement is vast for sure already, but we're gonna need to go quite a bit more on the sandpaper, I think. You know, we might even change pads, see if we can get something a little bit more aggressive on there. Yeah, let me try a couple things and just see what's gonna do it for us. Whoops. All right, let's give this a go. Okay, that's definitely doing a better job. We could definitely do more to improve this, without a doubt, but that's a significant improvement over where we were. This is just a little scratched there. That didn't get quite as cleaned up as this. We're getting there. This is significantly better. I'm gonna give it another polish. I think we can get it there with just polishing. I kind of wish I had something a little bit more gritty, to be honest. This stuff, you can hear it, it's thin, but okie dokie. Where are we at? Yeah, it's looking good. Really good, actually. It's still just a little scratched. Yeah. But let me just show you the difference. That compared to that. I mean, there's no comparison, obviously, but this one can still be improved upon. So now what we can do, if we so choose, is clear film over it, which I will probably do, and or ceramic coat if you want. I've got some of this left over. I can put this, I'm probably gonna do both. I'm probably gonna put film and ceramic coat. So I'm gonna continue polishing. You don't need to see that. And then I'll show you doing a clear film. Why not? All right, there we go. Done a final polish on it. It's looking really good. There's some micro scratching, which you will probably see a little bit when you turn your headlights on, but it's so much better than that. No comparison. So let's do a clear film. These are the tools you're gonna want for the job. Just like these little soft rubber squeegees. Even this will scratch it a little bit, so you wanna wrap it with something like a soft cloth. And again, soapier water than what I have here, maybe a little dollop of dish soap will work better than this. That's why it was sticking so much. So that's on me. And to be honest, I think what I'm gonna do is follow my own advice. I'll be right back. Okay, got a little extra soap. That's gonna do a lot for us here. And as long as you get the residue out, you're not gonna have any problems with having soap underneath or anything like that. You're not gonna see it once you're done, because you're getting all the water out, you're getting all the liquid out of it. So don't worry too much. Okay. Nice. So that's that. We're gonna bring you in. So now we're just gonna work from the center. And I can already see spots where I kind of screwed up the film, which is unfortunate, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much at the moment. So good film will stretch more. You're always gonna have to do a little heating to shrink the film in order to get rid of some of these like creases. But you can, a lot of times you can really work them out. So. Really just work a lot of the water out of here and that'll stick it down real nice. So then here, we're gonna just do like a little stretch if we can. We're gonna have to heat that, looks like. Yep, it's not gonna lay down. Same thing. So we're gonna wanna just heat this whole contour here. I got the heat gun plugged in. This is a soldering heat gun, works just as well, but don't don't melt everything with it. right so it's wrapped. Took a while. So we started off with, if you recall, and this is where we ended. Now you'll see the wrap at the top. We've got some bubbling and a little adhesive marks. This should fade with time. Most of the time when you wrap something, you'll get a little bit of like air, or you get these little spots where it's just like water trapped underneath. This is breathable and it does tend to evaporate over time. So this in a week is gonna look pretty clear and you shouldn't be able to see any bubbling or anything like that. Tomorrow it's just gonna look worse. Most of the time when people wrap something, they think immediately they've screwed up. The next day it becomes bubbly. That'll all fade. And if it doesn't, you can take a little needle and pop it, but you don't really wanna do that because that compromises the wrap. So tuck the edges. You know, I'm not an expert. This didn't turn out as well as I wanted on the top. I'll have to do a little work tomorrow as the water evaporates. But it's definitely an improvement and this is not gonna yellow. So anyway, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you liked the video. Feel free to tune in to some of my future videos where I work on the Volvo 240 or my fleet of other broken cars. So thanks for watching. See you later.